Guys, welcome back to another episode of Free Smoke. Today we have to debate which album is better. We have 5 different matchups. I'm defending an album, Ant's also defending an album, and you guys in the comments let us know who you think wins each matchup. We got the Life of Pablo by Kanye West versus Damn by Kendrick Lamar for the first matchup. 5 minutes per round. Let's get it started right now.
Let's do it, man. First of all, guys, thank you so much for coming through. I mean, I've been down to do this Free Smoke for a while because I like debating about albums with you, and the past ones got really heated. So let's see what happens today. But let's try and keep it a bit more civil, just for the sake of the conversation. But let me talk about the Life of Pablo a bit. I just want to say I love this album. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I think you could consider it a top 5 Kanye West album. It's one of the best of 2016. I love the manic energy of it. But when it comes up in comparison to, let's say, Kendrick Lamar's Damn, I do think that there are things that don't keep up with it. So example, I want to talk about the storyline of the album. I do understand that the Life of Pablo does things differently, where it's a lot more manic. Each track kind of has its own place within the track list, but you can't compare it to what Kendrick did on Damn with having everything follow a chronological order from front to back and also from back to start, bro. I find that super interesting.
Yeah, but concept is not everything to me, and I feel like my main argument for this is how revolutionary of an album the Life of Pablo was. When you think about the way that he kept updating it as if it was a software, that was something we had never seen before, and I feel like he made the value of the album be the beauty of the incompletion, the fact that this is an album that can keep being improved. And it was amazing to go through the track list with the addition of St. Pablo, with sort of that hunger and wait for the Life of Pablo to come on streaming services.
I get you. I understand you.
Going to the music now.
Okay, because I want you to talk.
The production is superior on the Life of Pablo, and I think it's for a couple of reasons. First of all, the arrangements are way more complex in terms of doing these fusions of gospel and trap on something like Father Stretch My Hands Part 1. That beat drop is amazing. Going to something like Ultralight Beam, all those choir arrangements, all the gospel influences. I feel like this album, alongside what Chance the Rapper was doing around the same time, really brought sort of this fusion of trap and gospel and putting all of those sounds into the forefront of the mainstream.
Yeah, but
and
the thing is,
when you look at Damn, you're getting way more minimalistic, simplistic beats. A lot of beats.
I mean, Uncle Lal's sample flip on Fear is not simplistic.
What about the Mike Will made it beats on the album?
Well, regardless, you call DNA a flawless song, so I guess it wouldn't be a flaw within the context of this conversation. But let's go on to even something like Duckworth. The writing does not even come close, bro. Let's just agree with that, okay? Could you agree with me?
The writing on No More Parties in LA or something like St. Pablo is not fucking top tier?
No. It's not in comparison to what you're getting on Fear and what you're getting on Duckworth.
What about performance? Okay, because obviously Kendrick's the better rapper, bro. We're not going to debate that.
What I'm talking about, I'm not talking about
there's way more than writing and lyricism.
I wanted to finish my point on the writing. What I meant about the writing was, I'm not saying that the writing is superior because Kendrick's the better rapper. I'm saying that if you had to look at each album at face value and say which album has better written components to it, dude, it's obviously Damn, bro. Won a fucking Pulitzer Prize.
Like I knew he was going to bring up the Pulitzer Prize,
it's a piece of literature. It's a valued piece of literature.
That is the only album that's whoever won a Pulitzer Prize. Does that make every other album less good because it hasn't won a Pulitzer Prize?
But
fuck that argument. What I want to take it to is the actual performance by Kanye West, which to me shows way more dynamic range in terms of how manic he sounds at sometimes, how meditative he is on something like 30 Hours. Kendrick Lamar is giving a great performance, but on certain songs like God, you're getting weak singing. On certain songs like Element, you're getting Kendrick sometimes not really sounding as passionate as he could be.
No, that's when I'm going to have to come through.
With Kanye West, bro, this guy is giving his all into his performance.
Yeah, but Kendrick
look at something like Famous, bro.
I have to come through. Hold on a second. That's not a good excuse for Damn. I'm sorry. Listen, I understand you have to defend the album. Let's just take a step back here for a second. To say that Kendrick Lamar wasn't dynamic on Damn, I think is an absolute blasphemy.
I don't think he was as dynamic as Kanye was.
No, because, well, listen, I mean, fucking screaming and shouting into a microphone on like Freestyle 4 doesn't necessarily mean manic energy. What I'm talking about is all the types of different performances and vocal cadences that you're going to get from Kendrick on this album, going on to those super aggressive cadences on something like a DNA, getting into something more meditative like a Fear, and him doing the voice switches even for his mother voice. Even something like, let's say, Feel, where he actually starts to get into the crying voice and brings that back with a bit more of an aggression. Those are highlight performances that you're not getting from Kanye. Not only that, but I do think that when you have to look at the track list as a whole, yes, you could even go to something like Yachty.
You're getting a bunch of dynamic performances from Kanye, bro, all throughout that track list.
But the thing is that, like, but your argument
have him sounding like a fire truck on Famous to him going crazy, bro, lyrically on so many songs here. So I feel like it's not really the best argument to make. But what I will say is this, is that I feel like some of the more mainstream hits do not feel as great in the context of the album. For example, Humble being sandwiched in between Pride and Lust, that didn't really make that much sense for the actual flow and structure because there's such a mood contrast between those three songs.
How was it a mood contrast?
Bro, you have a banger like Humble sandwiched between these more low-key songs like Pride and Lust. It just didn't make sense for the actual flow of that album.
No, I completely disagree
and
with you.
The time is up.
Wow, that's very interesting. Already 5 minutes?
Already 5 minutes in the first one, bro.
That was good, though. But I was also going to say that I don't think
the time is up, brother.
There's no songs like Fear or Duckworth, though, on the Life of Pablo.
Yes, there is.
No, there isn't.
The next matchup, though, is a very interesting one, and we're going to start it up right now. Timer is up. And this is, hold on a second. Let's cancel this. There we go. Let's start here by Lil Yachty, which I'm going to be defending, and you're defending Honestly Nevermind by Drake. And this is interesting
this is
because
a funny one.
Both these albums were considered like massive detours. They tackled genres that were foreign to both of them. And I think that when you're looking at both of these, Lil Yachty, to me, put out the better album experience in the sense that he had a vision to create a journey where you're literally traveling from Earth to outer space, and he accomplished that through spellbinding lyrics, through these overlapping vocals, through these synthesizers and these transitions that make you feel the forward movement of this character. And Drake, on the other hand, didn't seem to really have that much of a focused vision. It felt more purposeless as a dance album, and you didn't even see him fully lean into the concept of a dance album because he got distracted by these rap songs, which ended up being the best songs on the fucking album.
Are you still playing this album?
I'm still playing Jimmy Cooks and Sticky. I don't know if I'm
talking about Let's Start Here. Are you still playing Let's Start Here?
I am still playing Let's Start Here.
But that's the whole narrative with this album, in my opinion, is that, yes, it was impressive because it was a change of pace for Lil Yachty, but, man, listen, this thing, like, absolutely fell out through my rotation. And I'm going to be honest
with you. Is that an excuse for it not being good, bro?
Well, I mean, replay value for me has a big part of the quality of the album.
Let's talk about the music.
Okay, so even with the music, let's say, I want to go through a couple of tracks here, and I want you to honestly give me your opinion on if you think Lil Yachty's vocals are good or not, because that was one of my major complaints with the album.
And I can defend that straight away.
Well, okay, so I don't know. Which song do you want to go?
Bring up the bad vocals that you don't like.
All right, so I wanted to go on to something like The Alchemist, let's say. Explain me how you enjoyed the vocals on something like The Alchemist.
That's the one song where he doesn't have the best of vocals because it goes away from the more, I would say, easygoing singing that he has. But to go to the vocals, that's a big complaint. The more that I listen to this album, I feel like what makes this album stand out from the Dark Sides of the Moon and all these other psych rock albums it gets compared to is how unique Yachty's vocals are and how he applied them to this sound because of how charming he ends up sounding and also just how unique it is, bro. Hold on a second. Look at a song like Pretty and how he uses that vibrating auto-tune. Like, I feel like the fact that he used his own touch vocally for this album is so special and separates it from any other psych rock album.
You see, I completely disagree with you because if you're invested into the psychedelic rock lane, you understand that not only has this been done all the times before, but this is really nothing new and special. But it feels new and special because Yachty did it after especially releasing Lil Boats.
But let me finish. I gave you the
time. I need my time to speak. Not only that, but if you go into every single feature on this feature list, bro, they absolutely outperformed Yachty on every single song. Either if it's Justin Sky, or either if it's Diana Gordon, or either if it's Daniel Caesar,
but that's
or
the
even
thing
something
is that
like
Lil
Fushi.
Yachty did not see himself as the whole piece of the puzzle the way that Drake did.
Because he can't even be the piece of the puzzle, though.
Drake was at the forefront of that album. Look at a song like Falling Back and do not tell me that his high-pitched falsetto is not horrifying.
No, it's really not good. It's not good. But
you go to a song like Tie That Binds as well.
I still didn't finish my point, though.
Yeah. You want to take the whole runtime, bro. We get it, bro.
I gave you your time to speak. But even at that, going on to something like Text Go Green or even a Current, a Keeper, Sticky, Massive, like you're still getting good rapping performances from Drake on top of this EDM production.
Text Go Green is not a rapping performance.
Sorry, my bad. No, I meant, sorry. Sorry, my bad for the mistake. I meant something like a Sticky or even something like a Jimmy Cooks towards the end of the track.
That's the point, is that the highlights off of a dance album are the rap songs. And that's the whole public court of opinion that believes that. Not only that, but this is an album.
But how does that take away from the album experience, though?
Because you are getting
focused. But the thing is that, yes, it is focused. I mean, besides Jimmy Cooks towards the end.
It's an album filled with lackluster production with a fucking bet squeaking for 2 minutes. I mean, the foundation of Currents. Very poor singing from Drake. A Drake that sounds like he has no idea how much passion he wants to give in because he's not giving any passion.
Bro, Lil Yachty grabbed like Pink Floyd YouTube beats, bro, and put it into a studio album, bro.
You're gonna argue the production's better?
No, I'm not arguing that the production is better. What I'm trying to say is that you're making this sound like it's Dark Side of the Moon, which I completely disagree with. Yeah, you can't start saying that this is
I said that Yachty tackled it with a unique approach, and he added his own charismatic and personality-filled vocals.
Brother, he took a back seat on his own tracks, bro. He got washed by every single feature that was on this album. Bro. The only reason why you listened to this album was because of the production.
I love the fact that you've been downplaying Yachty instead of actually trying to make arguments for why Honestly Nevermind is so good.
Because my argument for Let's Start Here being less than, let's say, what Drake did, Honestly Nevermind, was that he literally took a back seat to the production and every single feature on Let's Start Here.
That was the beauty of that album, is that he doesn't have to be the centerpiece, bro. Because you're getting beautiful synths, bro. You're getting beautiful strings. You're getting an experience.
It's a Lil Yachty album. It's not the producer's album. He has to be able to perform on his own album. And
he does perform on his own album if you listen to the songs.
Well, I mean, when you're getting vocals like The Alchemist or even something like Overdrive, that's not that great. Not Overdrive, sorry, excuse me.
You have it all jumbled up, bro, and the time is up. That's 5 minutes right there.
I was going to say Paint the Sky. I'm not a big fan of that track either, but I could go back to it, though.
Horrible take. Let's keep on going with the third matchup of the day. I think that was the most heated we've gotten up to this point. But next up, we have Not All Heroes Wear Capes versus Heroes and Villains by Metro Boomin.
So let me start off.
I'll let you start off, and the time starts right now.
I think what Metro Boomin did with Not All Heroes Wear Capes is fantastic. Like, it's one of my favorite albums of 2018. I cannot deny the quality of it, but I do think that he leveled up on something like Heroes and Villains. This was one of the biggest moments of 2022, and to be honest with you, it low-key revived the trap scene, and we spoke about this on the podcast before, where it was absolutely dead, bro, until this guy came back and absolutely delivered a cinematic experience all the way through. Not only that, but I do think that, yes, maybe you'll find better sequencing on something like a Not All Heroes Wear Capes, but, bro, I still counted on something like on Heroes and Villains, bro, there's 2 songs that get sequenced together. There's 2 sequencing points within the track list. On Not All Heroes, bro, you have 3 or 4, so it's not even that much big of a difference for the track list.
That's where I want to start off, is the song transitions, which is very important to both of these albums because he included it, is much better on Not All Heroes Wear Capes. You go to a song
I don't agree.
You go to a song like Overdue, Let Me Speak, where Travis Scott literally says, we've been outside going in, and then 21 starts with Bang Outside, I Hang Outside for Don't Come Out the House, and those 2 songs bleed into each other. Or think about a song like Only One, and that how that moves into Lesbian, how the keys remain the same. That was geniusly executed, and it's better executed there than it is on Heroes and Villains. Another take that I have also is that Not All Heroes Wear Capes is more important for Metro Boomin as a producer because it stripped away that title of being a trap producer. It saw Metro Boomin tackle these more rhythmic dance hall songs and make beats for artists like a WizKid or someone like a J Balvin. It showed layers and range to Metro as a producer. And let me ask you this. Do you feel like on Heroes and Villains, Metro added anything to his arsenal as a producer that he didn't already do? Because even looking at the soul sample flips,
well, you can ask me the question, or are you going to continue
on Not All
going?
Heroes Wear Capes.
I've been watching the timer, by the way. You just talked for a minute
straight. You took the first fucking minute yourself.
No. Listen,
so answer my question.
So yes, I do think.
How did he upgrade as a producer?
So when you take off a couple of years from music and you come back and completely revive the game with these classic trap sounds, bro, that he's been doing,
that he's done already.
Okay, so tell me, what beat sounds like Metro Spider? What beat sounds like Superhero? What beat sounds like Too Many Lights?
I asked you a different question. What did he add to his arsenal that he didn't already have in that bag of tricks?
Well, I'm telling you right now.
You're naming songs. You're not telling me what he's doing in terms of production styles. That's what I'm asking.
Well, bro, he's bringing his classic flavor to the thing, but he's bringing it in an elevated way that sounds fantastic for the track list.
I saw more evolution from Not All Heroes Wear Capes to his prior work compared to the upgrade.
Well, he didn't really have prior work.
Not only that,
solo, like, but hold on, you got to give me my time, bro. I got to talk about this album. Not only that, but you're finding better performances from artists on this album in comparison to Not All Heroes. For example, you're not finding a Future performance like Superhero anywhere throughout that entire track list. I don't even think he's on it, to be honest with you. Don Toliver wipes Sway Lee when it comes down to Heroes and Villains in comparison to Not All Heroes Wear Capes. For fuck's sakes, what was J Balvin doing on that album regardless?
Sounded amazing on the song.
Not only that, but the highest of highs on this album cannot be touched. Everything from a Metro Spider to a Superhero and even a trance. Like, you're getting even better Young Thug performances on this album than you did on the previous one. And if you want to ask the way that he upgraded, bro, listen to those productions and don't tell me it's some of the best shit he's never done before.
Only difference.
And not only that, but even when you look at The Boys and the way that it's implemented within the track list, that was a great addition as well that he never did on a project music. So to say that Metro didn't upgrade on this, I think is absolute blasphemy.
I said upgrade as a producer in terms of bringing in new refreshing sounds that he hasn't tackled before, but there's also serious issues in terms of the creative choices where you're getting filler songs on Heroes and Villains. Lock on Me, or even something like All the Money with Gunna, people would not bat an eye if those songs were not on the track list.
Well,
whereas Not All Heroes Wear Capes, so was No Complaints, bro. Who the fuck is talking poorly about that song? Not only that, but we've spoken about how 21 Savage and Mustafa were not a good fit together on something like Walk 'Em Down. You agreed with me on that.
Yeah,
so
but you also said that Kodak Black had a horrible feature on No More, and not only that, but you want to talk about lackluster tracks. Go on to something like Only You. I'm not going back to that.
That's an amazing dancehall track.
Amazing dancehall track. Even something like 10 a.m. or Save the World, the introduction. Like,
bro, Gucci Mane, bro.
Yeah,
like, one of Metro's fathers into the game, introducing it in such a fire way.
Yeah,
not only that, but
come on.
certain choices were questionable. Like Drake having the best verse on Trance and that never even making the album.
That absolutely not. Listen, don't even try and like contemplate what Trance did. That is one of the best tracks
and
on
that could have been
album.
Better. That could have 100% have been better because Drake rode that fucking beat better than Young Thug and Travis.
Oh, that's a bad take.
It's not a bad take whatsoever. Not only that, back to the whole performances being better. 21 is much better on Not All Heroes, bro, with the introduction of the ASMR on Don't Come Out the House.
Are you really trying to target
Trance? The first time
Trance?
he tackles Soul Sample on 10 Freaky Girls.
But you still have that on Feel the Fire, bro, with Takeoff and ASAP Rocky. You're also getting more diverse features. Oh, man.
Not All Heroes
why Trance?
is above.
Why Trance? Like, did you have Trance in your notes?
I never said it's a bad song. I said Drake would have elevated it, and for whatever reason, Metro said, fuck it, this is not good enough. But let's keep on going with the next matchup. We have two Tyler, the Creator albums. This should be exciting. We have Igor, which I'm going to be defending, and Ant is going to be taking Call Me If You Get Lost. I'll let you start off this one again.
Again, I love both of these albums. I think that Igor is one of Tyler's best albums, to be honest with you. But as a rap fan, as someone that was invested in Tyler, the Creator's career, I do feel like Call Me If You Get Lost is the superior album. And for similar reasons that I made for the DAMN Life of Pablo comparison, where I do feel like the writing on Call Me If You Get Lost is much better. I do feel like the world building on Call Me If You Get Lost is much better. Something like Hot Wind Blows, taking you to Geneva. We've spoken about that all the time on the podcast. You guys get the point. Not only that, but thematically throughout the album, when you look at Igor and Call Me If You Get Lost...
No, don't go there. Oh my God.
But you're getting the same thing, low-key. But you're just getting it in a better rapping performance from Call Me If You Get Lost, Tyler. That's what. But how, though? It's the love triangle, like we've spoken about
Here's
this before.
The thing, is that when you look at how focused of a story Igor is in comparison to Call Me If You Get Lost, the thing about Call Me If You Get Lost, I love it because Tyler focused more on the compositions and the actual creativity behind making the music. But I feel like, first of all, he had already done that love triangle concept. So he was doing it for a second time, and he didn't do it as well as he did it on Igor. With Igor, he actually embodied an entirely different character as Igor.
So you saw that on Sir Baudelaire, though?
But that was more of an extension of Tyler himself. Like, that was Tyler rapping from his own perspective, talking about the effects of, like, when Yonkers came out. And my argument is that he did not carry out that narrative from start to finish. It was loosely thrown in, and then he tried to, like, awkwardly tie everything up with Wilshire because he wasn't kind of giving enough context throughout that album.
No, I don't think so.
And I feel like, bro,
through the track
you're
list.
out of your mind if you tell me that the Igor story is not more tightly knitted than something like Call Me If You Get Lost.
Got less bloat.
So in terms of a narrative being super strong,
you're right. You got less bloat. I just don't want you rambling on and making senseless points.
I also think that Igor is the more impressive Tyler album.
In which way?
The reason for that is the fact that Tyler literally went in with a 2 and a 7 offsuit and ended up winning that hand in the sense that he had to switch everything up for that album. He swapped out the rapping for the singing, and he ended up making something that no one saw him able to do.
Better than the rapping that he's doing. I'll tell you why.
It was his boldest album, bro.
Okay, it's his boldest album. I do think that it was a change of pace. Even, let's say, something like
much better produced,
but, okay, but that could be said for Kanye with 808s and Heartbreak, that it's his boldest album, but it's not his best. What I'm talking to you about, 808s and Heartbreak is Kanye's best.
Talking about Igor being Tyler's.
But what I'm talking about for Tyler is that you're not finding finding this type of rapping performance on any other like Tyler album. I'm sorry.
But this is not a rap album for Igor.
But
like,
what I'm saying is
cares?
that, but that's what
It's
I prefer
irrelevant.
out of Tyler. As a fan of Tyler's music and someone that's been invested with his albums over the years, I was invested into the story building. I was invested into those rap verses, and that was maybe missing with something like Igor. But
I totally
do
disagree because
I gotta finish
Tyler.
my point.
I thought you were done, bro. Go ahead.
I gotta
Take up
finish my.
another
Let me
full
just
minute.
finish my point, man. What I'm trying to say with Igor is that yes, I do understand that it was a change of pace for him. It's a tightly knitted concept album, but I do feel like you're getting more out of Tyler on something like "Call Me If You Get Lost," especially with something like a Wilshire or even something like "Sweet I Thought You Wanted to Dance," where you're getting those types of Igor-esque performances, but now it's making the diversity of this track list.
The mix
Plus,
on Wilshire is atrocious. But keep going.
Oh my God, what's wrong with Wilshire, bro? I'm just learning new problems about this album with you every single time we talk about it.
I said the mixing is atrocious. In the
No,
songs.
it's not atrocious, bro. Tyler's
Bro, listen
albums
to it
are
with headphones, bro. It's cracking, bro, on the
No,
headphones.
it's
But anyways,
fire.
finish your point so I can go on to my point before the
Well,
time runs out
regardless-
because you've been talking for a minute.
But regardless, something like Wilshire having bad mixing, man, like I never picked up on that, and that should have been included in our review. I'm not sure why you just spoke about that now.
Because you pick up on things as a listener with time.
So today, you like this week, you magically decided to pick up on the mixing of
Keep
something
going,
like
bro.
Wilshire.
Can I speak, bro?
No,
Before
I don't.
The minute
no,
runs
hold
up,
on.
go.
Not only that, but you're not getting performances like a Hot Wind Blows or a Lumberjack or even a Massa on here.
New
Yes,
magic
you do.
wand, running out of time. You're getting many, and I'm gonna jump in here because you're gonna keep talking for the
No,
rest of the
it's
runtime.
nice, but-
Igor, Tyler is in full control of his art, and I think he's firing on all cylinders because you are getting those abrasive rap songs with something like a New Magic Wand, which was a perfect culmination of all of Tyler's sounds. Not only that, but you're getting these love ballads like Earthquake. You're also getting these synth escapades on a song like I Think, where so many different sonic elements are meeting one moment. And I feel like the
you are
production
getting that on Call Me
as
If
a
You Get
whole
Lost.
is way more developed, and it's just building towards a climax for the storyline
But like
where
you describing
Tyler
the
is conveying
soundscapes
more
is
emotion,
not
bro.
gonna convince me. Like
He
what I
conveys
know
more emotion
what I'm-
throughout Igor.
But like even
There's
at
more
that,
of
what does that even mean?
Bro,
Like,
there's more character
emotion.
building, bro. You see how the character goes from someone who's in love to someone that's heartbroken, who's managing all these feelings.
But we did that with Call Me If You Get Lost. It's
Oh my
just that
God.
you have tracks in the middle of there that don't necessarily tie into the storyline, but that's not a bad thing. Not only that, but I find bringing back the Gangsta Girls mixtapes and making them popular again was fucking sick. Like having that sort of mixtape vibe to a complete studio album like this has never been done before by someone of Tyler's stature.
Time is up.
I still think I got you with the Call Me
No,
If
you
You Get Lost.
definitely did not get me.
It's a
on
better
that
rap
one.
album for sure. I know it's not the same
Well,
thing,
yeah, it's
but
not
I mean,
Igor's not a fucking rap album for the 20th time, bro.
I get you, but like it doesn't mean because someone just did something new for the first time that it's
I
automatically
feel like your
better,
whole
you know?
argument was like, well, I prefer when Tyler raps, so therefore Call Me If You Get Lost is a better album. But let's keep on going. Rodeo by Travis Scott versus At Long Last ASAP by A$AP Rocky. Two of the best psychedelic rap albums I think that we've gotten in recent time. And let's get this timer started. Do you want to take the floor or do you want me to go for this one?
You could go for it. I mean, like, what are you gonna say new for Rodeo though? Like, that's the thing is that like
I know.
I
I've
kinda
spoken
know.
about
Yeah,
the album
I kinda
again,
know,
but
what
like,
you're gonna talk
I
about.
want to kind of just start off with a rebuttal because I know that you're going to go into how the writing or the lyricism, quote unquote, is not strong on the album. But I feel like
No, I don't think it's not strong.
that's
I think it's good writing.
that's never the purpose of like a Travis
No,
Scott
when did I
album is
say
to be
that,
super
though?
lyrical.
I never said that Rodeo's writing.
In the short video that we did, you said that lyrically it's a stronger album and that
is,
the
it is.
writing
It's
is
a-
better.
it's
You
a-
said the writing is better.
Yeah, but I never said that Rodeo is not a well-written album. Something like Oh My Decide and 90210 are well-written songs, in my opinion. I'm just saying, once you start getting into the context of At Long Last ASAP, with the songs like Holy Ghost, or let's say even a Canal Street, or even something like a Far Side, like these are completely different songs that Travis can't tap into. Not only that, but I think that when you have to look at the soundscape of both of these albums, yes, you have the psychedelic trap that works super well on something like Rodeo, one of the best psychedelic soundscapes I've heard in the 2010s, but I do think that Rocky offered a bit more, especially within the sample choices of At Long Last ASAP, going on to something like Jukebox Joints, or even something like Every Day, talking about even some of the bangers on this album are low-key better than what you're getting on Rodeo.
Definitely not.
Absolutely.
But if you look at the highest highs of Rodeo and just how much better the alternative trap production is, looking at how grandiose the beats are for 3500 or Nightcrawler, to also how multifaceted the productions are, looking at the beat switches on songs like Oh My This Side, 90210, Maria I'm Drunk, Okay Alright, like yes,
Electric
A$AP
body
Rocky,
over Okay Alright. Electric body over Okay Alright.
sure.
Okay, thank you. Keep going.
Also, even though the electric body hook is really not good, bro.
Oh my god.
And that's a big issue I have is the hooks are really big weak points. You look at something like Excuse Me, M's, Electric Body, Shake That Ass Girl, Make That Coochie Wet. Like, where did that come out of, bro?
What are you talking
So you want to talk about
like, what are you talking like
you want to talk
Rocky's
about like
hooks are
weak
always
writing.
infection-
Rocky's hooks are not always infectious, and this is a prime example. And I feel like that's also where there's separation in terms of quality for these two albums. The fact that as much as I love the highlights, like a Holy Ghost, like a Max B, like there's so many of Rocky's best ever songs, but there's also some weak points, like West Side Highway, which is such a messy love song.
Yeah, but even something like Apple Pie or Let's
Apple Pie's a bad song.
It's not a bad song, but it's weaker to the track.
Bro,
It's not like
even
something like Maria, I'm
LSD,
drunk.
bro. I'm sorry, that song has really grown off me over time, bro.
No, come on. You gotta stop this.
Bro.
No.
That
Stop,
uncomfortable high pitch he leans into.
It's fucking fantastic.
Singing.
He's literally taking you through the feeling of being on LSD, and you also see that on something like Fine Wine.
But it's such a like surface level, like okay, the song's called LSD. I'm gonna rap it like I'm on LSD.
No, but
like,
it's not only that, but it ties into the message of the album, which takes you through this incredible drug trip with A$AP Rocky, and that's the basis of this album, and taking you through his lifestyle. Even something like Canal Street, you're not getting deep written songs like that off of Rodeo. I mean,
90210 is not a deeply written song. Pray for Love, when he's talking about him being sick of seeing so many young people dying on like Fox News, bro. Like, don't tell me that Travis doesn't have content on that album.
I never said he doesn't have content. Please stop putting words in my mouth. What I'm saying is that At Long Last A$AP is much superior in writing over Rodeo. And also at that, like, when you talk about something...
What a better things, bro. And tell me that Rocky rapping about him airing out his dirty laundry about the celebrities he smashed, that's going to be qualifying as better writing.
But I mean, you do have those cuts on there. That's A$AP Rocky's signature with the flair and the glare. And I mean, that's what A$AP Rocky brings to the table. If you just don't like his style of writing.
I do love his style, but not when he's just shouting out random celebrities that he's had relations with. But even at that,
Better Things is a great song. Not only that, but if you want to talk about the better Kanye West performance on the album, Jukebox Joints is better than Piss on Your Grave, in my opinion. Even
I disagree. Like, he was totally just like thrown in at the end of the song.
That makes no sense.
Also, the features are way better on Rodeo. Give me that. The bro. You're gonna argue for MIA, bro?
No, MIA had a fantastic performance on Fine Wine. What's wrong with Fine Wine?
She could suck a dick.
Like, who cares? It sounds great in the context of the song.
Moment, bro. Like, she literally just woke up.
You were there back in 2015 when you were
I was there, yeah. I got to witness that.
Not only that, but the addition of Joe Fox throughout the entire track.
I was fire.
That's revolutionary. To be able to take literally someone that's homeless and put them onto an amazing studio album. That was an incredible creative decision that added to the experience. And even looking at something like Lord Pretty Flacco Jody 2, I mean, the only song on Rodeo I feel like banger-wise that could really compare to it
Antidote doesn't compare. 3500
and Antidote.
Compare.
But those are the only ones that do compare.
Nightcrawler compares.
I don't think Nightcrawler compares to Lord Pretty Flacco Jody 2 in my opinion. But even looking at something like Excuse Me and that braggadocious energy that you're getting from Rocky, he is a lot more charismatic in rapping performances throughout the whole album. And you do even see it on something like M's. What's wrong with M's, bro? Like, why are you dissing
Lil
M's?
Wayne bodied Rocky on that song.
No, he didn't body Rocky. You can't
and the time is up, guys. That concludes the free smoke. I mean,
I feel
listen, I think I got you on quite a few of these.
No, I think I got you on quite a few of these. This is the whole basis of your rebuttal. Like, you talk about songs that you blatant enjoy, but then after that, when it comes into like the context of an argument, like you downplay the fuck out of
them.
I'm
not downplaying any songs.
Bro, like you're dissing songs like Lil Shire and M's throughout this episode.
No,
come on,
I'm actually pointing out flaws because that's what I need to do. I need to look at the grand scope of each and every single project and see where I could pick out the flaws.
At least I come in and like I appreciate these albums.
I'm appreciating all of the art, bro.
No. Would you come? Oh, Metro Boomin didn't do anything new.
Yachty didn't do anything new. It's a carbon copy of Pink Floyd. Like, no, it's fucking not, bro. Listen to that album. Just because it's not in your replay value, bro. Like, I don't care.
Well, the replay value does have. But I mean, it's a common sentiment.
Let's not get into another free smoke. That's gonna sum up the episode, guys. But let us know if we do this in the future. What are some other matchups you guys want to see us tackle? And if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and also the subscribe button if you guys are new here. And also let us know, guys, what you guys want to see us do next. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.